it's 9 in the morning. I forgot what 9 in the morning looked like. So, why not? Why not? Let's do this. Let's answer some questions. Okay, how many thumbs do you have? This many. How tall are you? 5'4". I'm shrimpy. Do you watch Doctor Who? If so, who is your favorite doctor/companion? I don't watch Doctor Who. I've never watched Doctor Who. I get asked to watch Doctor Who a lot, and I never had interest in it, I guess. Nothing against it, just it's not my cup of tea. But I should watch it so I can make an assumption that way. Now that you've created this whole Steam community, will you start playing Team Fortress 2? If so, will there be a dedicated server for rant bitches someday? Well, I have not played any Team Fortress 2 yet, and I should do that. I don't know how to make a server, so if somebody wants to assist me, we can do that. Yes or no? Coca-Cola. By the way, this is filled with this. It's delicious. What do you think of fandoms such as furries, bronies, and so on? Well, I don't understand it because I'm not a brony or a furry. I don't understand it, but I figure it's not hurting anybody. So, what's the big issue? Oh my god, I spit so much. I kind of just look at that stuff, shrug my shoulders, and continue on with my day. What's your all-time favorite book and why? I like I Am Charlotte Simmons by Tom Wolfe. What else do I have up there in my collection? I like reading books that I've already seen the movie of, so I got American Psycho up there, and Fight Club, and The Exorcist, and The Shining, and then just a lot of George Carlin books. But I also liked In the Lake of the Woods by Tim O'Brien, and I really liked East of Eden. Favorite Nintendo game franchise and why, besides Zelda? Well, I mean, besides Zelda. Mario? I can't think of any. Oh, I guess Donkey Kong, too? That's Rare. It's distributed by Rare, but it's on Nintendo. I love that fucking Donkey Kong, man. What's your biggest fear? Snakes. And planes. What fan base annoys the shit out of you the most? All of them. No, it's fine to be a fan of something. I don't like a fan base, any fan base that takes things to the extreme where no light can penetrate anything. If they won't listen to any opposing criticism or anything, and they just freak the fuck out over anything. And I'm like, shut up. Favorite hobby? Playing video games, writing, doing stand-up in my apartment. I haven't gone to do stand-up in a while. I should get back into that. If you could get with any fictional character, who would it be? Peter Bretter from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Do you play any Bethesda games? I can't pronounce that. Elder Scrolls or Fallout. I started playing Fallout. I started playing the Game of the Year edition, Fallout 3, but it kept freezing on me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna chill with you. And no, I have not played Skyrim. What is your favorite movie of all time? Oh my god, that's so tough. I have so many favorites of all time, Kanye West. Like, anything that Joe Pesci's in is, like, my favorite. Because Joe Pesci is just my favorite, man. But all I like is humor movies these days, like Step Brothers, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Superbad, Role Models. I love any movie that can make me laugh. Any movie that can make me laugh is automatically my favorite. Who are your top 5 favorite YouTubers? Well, let's go to YouTube and take a look. There's this new guy, Blake Grigsby, that I saw. He does, like, pranks and stuff. He's very funny. I suggest you check him out. I liked Dom Mazzetti, but he's not that funny anymore. I don't really have like a top 5 favorite. Like anybody that I see that comes along, like if it's a good video, I'll watch it. And I always enjoy watching when you guys do video responses. I like enjoying that. I like seeing what other people have to say, you know. So it kind of is just it's not so much of a favorite. It's more of like, hey, this person is awesome, you know. I'm finding myself liking video game channels more and more, like SSOHPKC. I can't read that. I watch PewDiePie sometimes, but I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed by him on occasion. I don't know. I'm liking the YouTubing video game channels a lot. Have you met Louis C.K. yet? No, and I want to. He's coming to Atlantic City in like, a couple of weeks. I'm probably not going to go, but I want to see. If you could bring anybody famous back from the dead, who would it be and why? Freddie Mercury, obviously. Like, there doesn't need to be an explanation. He's just awesome. How are you liking LA Noire? I beat it already on Xbox, but it was on sale on Steam for like $4, and I'm like, give me that. Anything that doesn't have 3 discs is fine with me. Do you like Jell-O? Not that nasty green death Jell-O. We're talking sweet red Jell-O. Who doesn't like Jell-O? Book smart or street smart? I am not book smart. I'm street smart. I'm just not learning good. Which one do you hate more? Ignorant people or egotistical ones? I'd say egotistical ones, because I think that's more of a reflection of a generational thing. Like, people in my generation were just very entitled, and, you know, at least if you're ignorant to something, you can learn about it. But if you're egotistical and you have this mindset and you're set in your ways, it's a bit harder to crack that shell of asshole. Since you like The Sopranos, what was your favorite season and who was your favorite character? Favorite character is Paulie Walnuts, because he's fucking awesome. But I loved Bobby Bacala too. Steve Shrippa came to where I work to do like a live hit for a local affiliate. And I got to meet him, and I was like, oh my god, hey Bobby. Hey, Bobby Bacala. But favorite season, oh man, see, I'm not one to be liking seasons. It's just individual episodes. Like, everybody's favorite episode is obviously the one where Christopher and Paulie get stuck in the Pine Barrens, and that episode's amazing. But like, I liked the season where Tony had an affair with Gloria Trillo. I think that was season, I'm not sure, I want to say 5, but that might not be right. But I liked them up to where I liked it. I didn't like the mom character very much. And I didn't like when Tony and Carmela broke up. So, I don't know. I'm an individual episode watcher, because they're all awesome. And when Christopher made Cleaver, that was fucking the tits. When are you going to continue Ocarina of Time? Well, I made a video after I made this one, so, you know, I'll do the best I can with that. Who is your favorite rapper? Bus driver. What is the worst kind of person? An asshole. Oh wait, I'm an asshole. Have you seen Breaking Bad? No. Oh my gosh, everybody tells me to watch Breaking Bad. See, the next comment is, do you watch Breaking Bad? I've heard so many good things about it, and it's on Netflix, and I should watch it, but I just have not yet. So I don't have really the attention span to watch. This is so stupid. To watch like hour-long TV shows sometimes. Sometimes. I'll sit down and watch like a season of Dexter in a day. But I have to be in like the right mindset to pay attention for that long. Do you watch Breaking Bad or Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Yes, I watch Always Sunny. I love Always Sunny, but I have not seen the most recent season. So far, what video of yours did you enjoy making the most? The drunken dramatic readings of 50 Shades of Grey, and the most recent Amnesia video where I was drunk. It seems like I get drunk a lot, but I really, really don't. I drink maybe like once or twice a month, now. But I just happen to be recording those nights. Who's the worst neighbor you've ever had to deal with? When I lived in Jersey, when I lived in my apartment last year, just you could hear everything because it was a new building. You could hear everything that was going on, and my neighbors would play techno until like 3 a.m. And I was like, I don't like techno. Turn this shit off. I am trying to make a rant. Do you believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Oh, yeah. Yeah. What do you find most attractive in a guy, and where would you most like to meet your potential husband? I would love to meet my potential husband at a video game convention because I'm a fucking dork. And what I find most attractive in a guy is, I see, it's weird because every single guy I've dated has been so vastly different from the next one. But I just love a good personality, and I love if they can make me laugh. That's like the biggest thing for me. I would just want somebody that has a good outlook on life, that isn't, like, he's not consumed with drama, like, he's not hurt by, like, past girls in his relationships, or, because I've dated many a man who's had some emotional hang-ups with the ex, and then they just start pinning every girl as the same, and I'm like, you guys, stop it. But really, like, the most attractive thing is if they're very confident in themselves, but it's not an arrogance, because there's such a fine line between self-confidence and just being a fucking dick. So if they have this sort of, like, quiet confidence, like, they know that they're cool, but they're not outwardly like, I am awesome all the time, like, it's quiet confidence. I think it's hot. Have you heard of the BBC shows? Have you heard of the BBC show Sherlock? No. Favorite podcasts? I don't listen to podcasts, and I want to make one, but I don't know how to go about that. Do you have a crazy high school drug story? No. Is there such thing as a happy skinny chick? I don't know. Because I used to be a skinny chick, but I've always been curvy, even when I was, like, skinny. Because in high school I was like a stick, but had boobs and an ass. So, I don't know. I don't know what even defines skinny anymore these days, you know what I mean? If you were able to put yourself into the body of any celebrity, who would it be and why? I'd want to be, Mila Kunis or Emma Stone for a day, because I always like comedy actresses, because they're awesome. What is the one song you absolutely refuse to listen to? Not so much a song. I will not ever willingly listen to a Taylor Swift song. Nothing against her, I just don't have any interest. What would you do if you got your hands on the rights to 50 Shades of Grey? Would you destroy it or rewrite it? What would I do? Oh my gosh, I think I'd rewrite it. I think I'd correct all the grammatical errors and minimize a few of the holy craps and murmurs. If there was one place in the entire world you would want to be right now, where would that be? On a beach in Hawaii with a margarita in my hand. What's your favorite Disney movie? The Little Mermaid. What plans do you have for the summer? Well, work, the Democratic and Republican National Conventions, God, no. And I'm going to do, summer's almost over, but I'm going to do some more writing on my book. Do I have any brothers and sisters? No, I am an only child. What radio station do you listen to? The only one I ever listen to is Q1043, but I'm not really listening to the radio that much. It's only my iPod. Q1043 is New York's classic rock station, and they play good music. What's your dream job? My dream job would be to be either a comedy actress or a writer, like a comedy writer, either like a screenwriter or like get my own book published. That's one of my goals, to be a published author. What's your opinion on the Hunger Games? I didn't know it existed until the movie came out, and I have not seen the movie. I've not read any of the books. Maybe I will when I get around to it. What annoyed you more, grammar Nazis or internet trolls? Well, being a grammar Nazi myself, I would say internet trolls. What do you know about Prussia? Okay, and then the comments underneath talk about Hetalia. I don't know what that is. I thought Prussia was Russia with a P on it. Um, I have no idea what any of that is, you guys. I don't know. What do you think of CM Punk's message to Chris Brown? I don't think I've ever seen it. Would you ever go to a YouTube convention like VidCon or Playlist Live? I think I would. I think maybe next year I'll go to VidCon. I think that would be fun. Somebody's taking the garbage out outside or something. I don't know what that noise was. I'm re-answering some questions now today, August 16th, because when I was editing, I saw that the sound got really, really shitty for like a bunch of questions, and I didn't think it was fair to like just cut all those out, so I'm going to re-answer them now. If you could dye your hair any color, what would it be? Pink! What's the grossest thing you've ever seen on the web? I would say, you know those videos of like people popping pimples and like getting cysts cut open and they get squeezed? Yeah, that. Ever heard of the game LSD Dream Emulator? No. Do you like any Zelda games other than Ocarina of Time? If so, which ones? I never finished Link to the Past. I don't know why. Twilight Princess. Fucking awesome. And, I don't think I've played any... No, Majora's Mask, of course. But no, I haven't played any of the original ones on NES. I don't believe I have, no. And, well, Link's Awakening, I played that on Game Boy, but none of the other ones. Can you say my name to feel special, Soundscaper18? Will you marry me? That's sweet. Actually, I have gotten like a bunch of marriage proposals over the web, but unlike Onision, I don't take them seriously. I just think it's a very cute thing to say. Do you like Animal Crossing? I've only watched my friend play it. I don't think I've ever played it, no. Do you like/listen to the Foo Fighters and Incubus? Yes. Hell yes, in fact. You know how George Carlin said that he prayed to Joe Pesci? Well, I think I pray to Dave Grohl because he's awesome. That's been my answer for a lot of these so far. Like, answer, comma, because it's awesome. And that's okay. Have you ever worried about your internet popularity negatively affecting your personal life? Yes. Because when I'm with my friends, they, like, bring up sometimes. They're like, oh, I watched your video on YouTube. And I'm just like, oh, good God. Oh, my God. And, I get worried because I think it's, like, it's a weird thing what I do. Like, I'm in my apartment by myself, yelling at a computer screen, like, a couple times, like, a month. And, how am I supposed to find a guy that, like, appreciates that? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's a weird thing to introduce into a conversation, you know? I mean, that's not to say that I don't think I'll ever find a guy, but, like, you know. He's got to be very, like, he's got to have an extremely open mind. Let's just put it that way. What game have you played that was most disappointing that was a critically acclaimed game? I think Gears of War. I just never liked it. What did you want to be as a kid? When I was a little kid, I thought I could grow up to be a mermaid. I just wanted to do that. And in my 8th grade yearbook, my my aspirations included being a parody songwriter or a video game designer. I was a nerd from day one. Do you think the last name Damm, D-A-M-M, pronounced D-A-M-N, is an awesome last name? Yes. Do you like sports? If so, what is your favorite? I'm not a TV sports watcher. I used to be like a huge, like obsessive Yankee fan. I kind of just lost interest. Like, I'll go to the baseball games. Going to baseball games is so much fun. But I'm not really a diehard sports fanatic. I mean, not for me. Have you ever met a celebrity in your lifetime? Pete Townsend, Weird Al Yankovic, and Carrie D. English from America's Next Top Model. Apparently, when I was like a little kid, I met Wendy Wasserstein. I feel like I've met somebody else and like other people, but I can't think of it right now. I think I heard you say in one of your past videos that you play Pokemon. Do you still play it? I do, on my emulator. And it says, what's your favorite version? I've never played any of the DS versions. All the Game Boy Advance and all the Game Boy ones. Oh, yes. What is the one album that you can listen to over and over again? I'm not so much an album listener as I am an individual song listener, and I guess the one album I could listen to over and over again would be Sgt. Pepper. I memorized that entire fucking album when I was little, even A Day in the Life. Are you willing to do a rant on the show Mob Wives? I don't know if I could stomach that shit. Have you heard of the website Reddit? If so, do you like it? Of course I've heard of Reddit, but I'm not a Redditor. No. I think I have an account there, but I just don't use it. I don't know. I just never got into it. Are you enjoying the new apartment? Well, the other day, I was like stumbling around my apartment and I looked around and I'm like, I fucking love this place. This place is awesome. It was like a beautiful find. I'm so happy it exists and it's mine. What are your favorite foods? Oh God, so many. Oh, cheesesteaks. Like a greasy ass cheesesteak. Anything drizzled in ranch dressing. Like fucking grilled chicken pita with just ranch dressing all over it. Mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. I just love everything that's bad for me. What would you want written on your tombstone? Here lies Gines. She was funny. If you had to choose between fucking marrying or killing Fred, Smosh, or Shane Dawson, what would you do? That's such a mean question. I'd probably bang Smosh, because at least like one of the two is attractive. I'd marry Shane Dawson because he seems like the nice guy that would bend to my whim. And I don't want that in a guy. I'm just saying that that's what he would do. And, you know, if that's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I just kill Fred. No biggie. Will you finish the Amnesia game? I'm working on it. Do you know where Slovenia is? No. Have you ever played Return to Castle Wolfenstein? I have not. What is your favorite rant that you've made? Probably still the Eclipse one, or the Twilight one. The Twilight one is a classic, and I'm just so mad in it. I know you're not a fan of modern media these days, but are there any exceptions to today's media that you enjoy? Always Sunny, Dexter. What are your thoughts on heavy metal music? I'm not a fan anymore. Just never appealed to my ears. If you were to kill one person, who would it be? Get out of jail free card would be included. I really don't think I have the capacity to do that. No. What makes you like a musical act, show, movie, or game? Something that you can relate to on some sort of different level. And something that I like things that make you think, but I also just like things that, you know, you can take a break from whatever you got going on and you just either laugh or just get immersed in the moment. How many wedding requests did you get here on YouTube? Hundreds of thousands. No. What are your thoughts on Britney Spears? You've never done a rant video on her. I used to hate her back when I was in 7th grade because she began when I was in 7th grade and all the boys in my class had a crush on her and I was jealous. I was in 7th grade. Sue me. But, you know, like, if Toxic comes on or I'm a Slave for You, like, you bet I'll be dancing and singing. I really have nothing against her now. I think she needs to hang up the whole career, you know, you know what I mean. Like, I think she's kind of done with the touring and stuff. But really, I have nothing against her. And, you know, even Britney herself says, would you hold it against me? No, Britney, no, it's all good. When you were an early teenager, did you think music was just as bad as it is now? I don't know, because when I was a teen, you know, it was like 90s bands and, you know, like 8th grade and stuff. Like 8th grade to me is just Third Eye Blind, you know, Third Eye Blind and like Tonic and Blink-182 and Weezer, all those guys. That's what was prevalent when I was a kid. And, you know, at least, even if I didn't like the band, you know, I liked all those bands I mentioned. But even if I didn't like them, you know, at least they're playing instruments. Now it's all just mechanical and just, you know, auto-tune. And, like, you don't need any smattering of talent to make it in this industry now. Any plans on visiting LA? Well, my friend from college lives out there, and I would take like a long weekend to go out there, but LA and I are I don't think we'd be very good friends Just because when I had no idea what it was like before I went out there. And, I'm so used to New York City. LA is just completely flat. Nobody's walking around. Like, I could go outside right now. It's almost 10 o'clock, and there'd be a shitload of people walking around in New York City. And LA is just not like that. Like, everybody's driving, and it's way too different, like, from what I'm used to. If I got used to it, it'd be different. But I would go and visit LA. I don't think I'd ever live there, though. Ever heard of OFWGKTA? No! Who is the worst about musical elitism? Metalheads, hipsters, or Beliebers and their ilk? Beliebers are the worst because Beliebers is musical elitism. It's not about even metalheads and hipsters. At least they're about the music for the most part. Maybe hipsters are a bit more about the fashion sense, but they're more about the music. Beliebers are drowning themselves in how proud they are of Justin and only Justin. Like, it's like the kid could just fucking exist. Like, he didn't even have to make music on YouTube and get discovered by Usher. He could have just existed and there'd still be this insane admiration for him. And I don't like that. I just don't like that. And, apparently, like, a lot of metalheads watch me because Muse is kind of a metalhead and, like, people, like, a lot of people told me, like, oh, they found me through Muse or whatever. So a lot of metalheads watch me, which is cool. And I think because we share the hatred of mainstream, but I've never had a metalhead ever say to me, you don't like metal? Well, fuck you. And I'm like, whoa. No, I've never had that. It's like, I don't enjoy metal that much. And they just say, okay. And hipsters I don't talk to, no. I just go like this at them. And now back to your regularly scheduled, unmakeupped, 9 in the morning Gines. Favorite Friends moment. When Chandler, oh my god, I'm such a dork. When Chandler and Ross go up to Vermont and they spend the weekend in that hotel room, and they just start stealing shit from all over the hotel. And Chandler comes in and goes, oh, and I got 2 apples. And Ross goes, we're 4 short of a bushel. Like, I don't know why. I think it's just because David Schwimmer and I are alums of Northwestern, and it just cracks my shit up to see David Schwimmer. I just love that fucker. Am I married? No. What got me into Steam games? I've been playing video games all my life, and I got this beast of a computer and decided to really, put it to good use and see its power potential. Opinion on 50 Shades overpassing Harry Potter for best-selling of all time and earning $1 million a week. It's sad because I love the Harry Potter books, but it just kind of goes to show that, enough hype can get you that sell, because a lot of people were buying it not because they were, like, wanting to fantasize about Christian Grey spanking them. They just wanted to see what the fuck the hype was about, and that's what's ridiculous, I think, but whatever, they got theirs. I'm just going to be upset by it. Have you thought, what was my first job? Out of college, my first job was working at a local New Jersey station. And then my first job in high school, I would spend the summers working at a grocery store, and I was probably the worst employee ever. But I made everybody there laugh, so they, overlooked certain things, like me not yelling at customers, just, being kind of a bitch sometimes. And, they made us stand in front of our cashier place. They made us stand in front, and if we saw somebody, we're like, oh, we could take you right here. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna stand behind the goddamn counter. They can come up to me. And everyone's like, Gina, you gotta go over there. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Have you thought about ranting on Kate Upton? I don't know who the fuck that is. And what other movies would you rant on? Kate Upton's that Victoria's Secret model. Why would I rant on her? I don't know, whatever. What other movies would I rant on? I don't know. I gotta see what's out there. What's one piece of advice you would give to teens, young adults of this time? I would say my piece of advice is to get off the fucking internet sometimes and live your life and like keep cherish these times seriously, because once you get to be my age, once you're in your 20s and you're established and building your career, you will beg for those days back where like you could just lounge around and not do shit all day and not have to worry about paying a mortgage or paying a fucking bill or going and looking for work. What the hell are they doing out there? Going out there and man, I miss those days. I really do. But everybody's spending their time on the internet all day. Go outside. Go take a fucking walk. Go appreciate the little things in life, because they're not always going to be there at your convenience. Will you ever become a YouTube partner? I've been a YouTube partner for 2 years now. Do you watch the Boondocks? I do not. What's your opinion on the show Dance Moms on Lifetime? Interesting show. I kind of liked it, but I think those mothers are nuts, and I just don't like stage moms. What's your opinion on Snooki's pregnancy and her new show with JWoww? It's bullshit. Just whatever. If Snooki's happy, let her be happy. I don't want to fucking hear about her. If you could put one personal taste in the Twilight series to make it better, what would you do? Give it a bit more substance other than they're in love with each other because they're in love with each other. What do you think about Oreo supporting gays and the people saying they will stop buying craft food products? I mean, like, whatever. I don't give a shit either way. But, yeah, people that saying, like, they're gonna stop buying it, I'm just like, shut up. Like, these are the same people that said, like, they'll move to Canada if Bush got elected or something. Or, like, or Bush or Obama. You know those people that, like, are just so vehemently against, like, a presidential candidate? They're like, I will move if he gets elected. And then what happens? They get elected and they don't go anywhere. You know? And it's just like, it's like, I don't understand the whole, like, gay hate agenda in this country. Like, if, like, they're not fucking hurting anybody. Like, if they want to get married or they want to, like, be with a person of the same sex, what the fuck does it matter to you? Like, I don't understand it. It's just, it's like, I just want to tell everybody to shut the fuck up and, like, smoke a blunt. Because everybody, on multiple issues, they just get so, like, butthurt about it. And it's not that big a deal. Like, are you living your own life? Are you happy with your life? Then that's cool. You know, like, just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean like everybody else has to hear about it, number one, and like be on your side. You know, you can respectfully disagree with people, you can respectfully, you know, disagree with their lifestyle, but in the end it's not your lifestyle. Well, like, I'm sorry, I just dealt with too much Chick-fil-A protesting in the past weeks, and it's just, I'm like done with it all. Ugh, shut up. What do you think of blonde hair? I think it's blonde hair. What do you think of pro wrestling? I don't watch pro wrestling, but I think it's an awesome form of entertainment, and I think it would be awesome to be a pro wrestling commentator. But I don't watch it, but I don't have any, like, reservations about it. How's the internet dating going? It's not going. I don't have time. I have too weird of a work schedule. Would you consider dating one of your YouTube viewers? And by one of your viewers, I mean me. Do you have any pets? My cat lives at my parents' house. She's really cute. Let me show you a video. I think I'm taking video. Hello, pretty cute, pretty cute. Are you my pretty cute? Hello. Hello. No, little dude. I love my kitty, but she's an old lady. But I want to get a cat, but I'm not going to get a cat right now. I will get one. Oh, I will. On the subject of religion, do you feel that it aids mankind or furthers it in tearing it apart? I don't know, because religion as itself is like, there's so many different facets of religion, and there's always like, I've always been an advocate of personal religion and personal spirituality and personal reflection on on whatever you believe in. Like, if it's not hurting anybody and you're not shoving it in my face and trying to convert me to your way of thinking, it's not a problem to me. But unfortunately, I think too much of it, on both sides of the coin, on any religion or any belief, it's too much of you don't believe what I believe, and that therefore you need to be schooled. And I just don't give a shit. Like, what I believe and how I feel about it is not going to be the same as how you feel. So, what's the big deal? I don't know if it's aiding in mankind or further tearing it apart. I can't really weigh on that. What's your opinion towards female ranters or YouTubers who are very popular? E.g. Jenna Marbles. Who's another female ranter? I mean, could you help me? Because I don't know. YouTubers who are very popular. If they didn't use bots, you gotta respect how far they can get, because it's not easy garnering a following on YouTube. I mean, there's just millions and millions of videos, millions of people putting their content out there, so it's not an easy task. However, I mean, I don't watch those super duper, like, millions of subscribers channels usually. It's not, I don't really care. PC versus Mac, which is superior? I'm a weird person because I've used Macs my entire life, and I love my PC more than any Mac I've ever had in my life. Have you ever seen True Blood? What did you think of it? I've never watched True Blood. Again, not interested. I don't really get the whole vampire craziness. Have you played the Postal series? Nope. What do you think of the post-hardcore band Thursday? I used to listen to them in high school, a couple songs. I can't think of any of the songs offhand. I'm getting them confused with At the Drive-In right now. I don't remember. What languages do you speak instead of English? Itagai, Spitigi, Jitige, British. Endway, Igpay, Atenway. Oh, and Jersey, too. What's your favorite Saturday morning cartoons that you watched as a kid? Recess! I took a break, deal with it. Very recently, the Texas Republicans have asked people to stop using critical thinking so they can work on their GOP problem. How important is critical thinking? And if so, what would happen if we were to move all the world of that type of skill? To me, that sounds like we don't want people to think for themselves and form their own thoughts about things. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know anything about this. Texas is not my region. I work with the West Coast, so it's a very, very bizarre thing for Texas Republicans to say. Do you have a guilty pleasure that other people don't like? For example, a movie, a band, a song, etc. I don't really know if there's anything that I like that people don't like. I don't know. I'd have to think really, really long and hard about that. Can you do a video on crazy taxi drivers? The past couple taxi drivers I had aren't very crazy. Have you seen the show Kathy on Bravo? It wasn't too good in the beginning, but it just had Jane Fonda and Sharon Osbourne on it. Oh, by the way, it's Kathy Griffin. They just took off her last name. I never found her very funny. I don't have like a cable box anymore. So I don't really watch TV. Have you ever played any of the Metroid games? I have not. Only Super Smash Bros. Featuring Samus. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you, or at least what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you that you're willing to say in a public video? I don't get embarrassed all that easily. One of the more embarrassing things, I had a crush on this guy that worked at my local news station, and somehow everybody in the newsroom found out about it, so every time he would walk into the room, I would blush, and people would point it out that I'm blushing because he's there, and there was one day that everybody took pictures of me blushing. That was embarrassing. That was very embarrassing, but he's the only guy I've ever, like, blushed that shade of red around. Should men have chest hair or be bald like a child's behind, and why? Men should have chest hair. I like it. Because I like it. That's the only reason why. How many tattoos do you have? I have 5, but they are all very tiny. Are there any interesting stories behind your tattoos? This means a charmed life in Italian. And when I was a baby, when I was like a day old, my mom took me to a Buddhist monk and he blessed me and said I was going to have a charmed life. And they told me about that the day I graduated college, so I got the tattoo shortly after that. All the other tattoos have absolutely no fun stories behind them. Do you have any regrets in regard to your career? I don't think news is my permanent career. I have other aspirations, so I guess I don't have any regrets right now. Do you have any bad habits that you would like to share? Well, I'm doing it right now. I pick at my fingers. I've always picked at my fingers since I was a kid. And I bite my nails, and I smoke. Do you think you would attend a Renaissance fair? Maybe. If you had some extra cash right now, what would you spend it on? Video games, clearly. Would you post a video to your fans? In what regard? Because I would do it, but I don't know in what regard you mean. If you knew the end of the world was coming, how would you spend your remaining days? Ooh, how would I? I would get my whole family together and we would just be on a beach, like in Isla Morada or like the Florida Keys or something. If you could pick one person to be your eternal slave, who would it be? Mr. Slave from South Park. What's your opinion on the band Rise Against? I know they exist. I know of them. I've never listened to them. Like a lot of my high school friends, metalhead friend, high school friends. That made no sense. I said it the exact same way both times in a row. They listened to Rise Against. I don't think I may have listened to them, and I may not have been aware of it, but as I don't know anything about them. Do you think the large amount of donations to the bus monitor is reasonable after her being bullied by those little brats? This was seasonal. This was topical, not seasonal at the time. I think if people want to do that, they can do it. I don't see the harm in it, but man, those little kids needed a slap in the face. What's the scariest movie you ever saw? The Shining. What's your answer to join a ranter's paradise? I know I've been a bitch about this and just like completely like all over the place. I very much appreciate the offer, but I think I may just, I mean, I haven't even attempted to do rants lately, so I'm sorry, but thank you for the offer. Maybe in the future we could work something out. What's the worst novel you have ever read? Mason and Dixon. I don't remember who wrote it. I want to say Thomas Pynchon, but that may not be right. What has been the best day of your life and what happened? The day that I met Pete Townsend. He's right there. If you had to get rid of a state, which one and why? I think we can combine the Dakotas. Have you ever seen anyone who could be the real-life human version of adult Link from Legend of Zelda? No. And when I was younger, I planned a movie. I think, oh man, I must have been in 8th grade. I wrote like a screenplay of the Zelda movie, but it didn't make any sense. It was just Link walking around asking everybody questions. Obviously, it was not like a legit screenplay, but it was my take on what I thought a screenplay was. And I think the closest person, I always pictured Devon Sawa playing him. Ever play Morrowind? Mm-mm. If Nicki Minaj or Snooki watched your rants on them and tried to call you out and tried to call you out to say it to them in person, would you do it? Well, wasn't that the whole concept behind that show, Hater? I mean, I think I would tell them how I feel about them, but I don't think I would be as bitchy. Like, you show a little bit of respect, but I would still just shake my head in disapproval at them. What do you think of feminism? I don't know. I really don't. I think I took like 2 gender studies classes in college, and I pissed off every girl in that class. They didn't like me because I was just kind of like, whatever, And I just wanted to have fun. Like, I needed some credits, and I took like film classes and stuff, but I don't know. That's not my vein of interest for the most part. What's your favorite event that happened around family? Hmm. How old was I? I want to say I was in ninth or 10th grade. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he was very interested in genealogy, so he gathered up all our relatives from his side of the family that lived all over America. And they all came to Jersey, and we had this huge reunion. There was like, I would say like 150, 200 people there. It was awesome. Like, that was really cool. And he organized the whole thing. My grandfather was awesome. If you had to choose between peeing or dooting for the rest of your life, which would you pick? You could eat and drink as you do now, as it's more of a question of sensation and nothing to do with biology. Girls don't do number two. They don't even do number one. Girls just go into the bathroom to look at themselves and fix their makeup. Have you ever been to a tanning salon? Sadly, yes. How are you still single? Good question. No, I don't have time for a boyfriend right now. Did you ever have a crush on a cartoon character when you were younger? I think I had a crush on Link in 7th grade. Yeah. What do you do outside the internet? I play video games like a fiend. I write and I work. That's pretty much it. That's my life in a nutshell. And I'll drink like once or twice a month with friends. I don't have time to see my friends anymore. It's sad, but that's what happens after college. You kind of go about your own life, and when you see them, everything picks up as it was like where you left off, which is awesome. What's your opinion on the war between Muse and Undertaker Freak 1127? I don't have an opinion on it. That's between them. I'm cool with Muse. I'm cool with Undertaker Freak. Like, it's not my business to get in the middle of it. I'm nice to people who are nice back to me. I'm not one to pick sides in something like that. If I wrote a song, would you sing it? I can try. Did you ever watch the show Daria? People have compared me to Daria, and I never watched it because when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV. Perhaps it's something I need to download. Which comedy club do you go to? I performed at the New York Comedy Club, and Broadway Comedy Club, and there was one more. It was like I can't remember. Those are the only ones I've been to. I haven't really been to that many. Like, I was at the New York Comedy Club a lot, though. Can you just say Super Mario again? What was life like for you growing up? Did you get into actually any memorable fights or anything? No, I was pretty normal childhood, spoiled brat. I'm an only child, but childhood was actually really good. Like, my parents work from home. Like, they work for a company, but it's the film and video division, so they were always home. It was like me and my parents. Pretty cool. Like, I don't think a lot of kids get that. What exactly is it that you like about the British? They're just cool fucking people, and they talk awesomely. Do you like Broadway shows? If yes, what shows have you seen? My family gets house seats to any Broadway show I want. I won't say why. It's not anything illegal or mob related or anything. I've seen a shitload of Broadway shows. I have seen Beauty and the Beast 3 times. I saw Lion King. I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I saw You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Man, I've seen and I told this story back in the first answer video where I was on Broadway, because they picked me out of like a whole group, a whole audience, when I went to see Full Moon. So I got to be on stage at 6 years old. It was awesome. Refer to the first answer video, and you'll see what I mean. All I really want to see is Book of Mormon, and the house seats. That show is filled the fuck up, and I'm gonna try going next year. My mom's gonna try to get tickets, and we're gonna go on a little date together. me and my mom. What brand of laptop do you use? This is a MacBook Pro. It's 3 years old already. That over there is a giant piece of fine hardware known as a custom-built computer. If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be, and where would you go? I would go straight to India with George Harrison. Are you looking for a man? Are you into anybody? Your dream guy is right here. Oh, that's sweet. Um, my pattern with guys is they are always unavailable to me in one way or the other, meaning that they already have a girlfriend or they are just not available. Like there's no way to for it to ever happen. So the relationships happen when you're not looking, when you least expect it. I'm kind of just going with the flow right now. I'm very work minded right now. I'm very work centric. So if that hurts me in the long run, it hurts me in the long run. But right now, I don't really care. Favorite British band? Don't say the Beatles. Arctic Monkeys. If you were to have any kids, would you want a boy or a girl, and what would their names be? I want so many kids because, like I said, I'm an only child. So I want like I want a fucking child army, and I would name them after Beatles songs. I would name them Jude, Maxwell, Lucy Sky, Abbey Road. You can't name a kid Eleanor Rigby. That would fuck them up. And I want to name a girl Sunshine. I don't know why. I just do. What celebrity would you go gay for? Mila Kunis, I guess, because she reminds me of me. Because I'm super pretty like her. And she's like me, but in half, because she's really skinny. Do you have a Vita, 3DS, or neither? I have neither. Do you like cars? I don't think I've heard you mention driving. I don't like driving anymore because I had to commute for so long, so I hate driving. And I like nice cars. Like I like a nice Mercedes, a nice Jaguar, like a nice BMW. I could do without these guys that drive these like super muscly loud cars. Like my ex-boyfriend had nitrous in his car and it would make the loudest noise ever and I'm like this is just too much. It's just too much. Have you ever experienced a haunting or anything paranormal? I don't think I have. I kind of, well, I don't want to say I kind of wish I did because now a ghost is going to be like, yo, what's up, James? But no, I have not. If you were on a train and E.L. James, the author of 50 Shades of Grey, sat down next to you, what would you say to her? I'd reach into her pocket and grab her credit card and shred it in front of her because she does not deserve all that money. How are you feeling in general nowadays? I'm good. I'm always good. I'm always trying to keep high spirits, you know. I'm everybody goes through like, you know, ups and downs, plateauing, things like that, you know. I want to pursue other endeavors. I have so much stuff on my plate right now though, you know, but otherwise like me personally, like I'm very good, but I want more, I guess. And I want to do more things. What's your favorite movie quote, line, and why? Um, Out of all time, I know it's so stupid, but in Not Another Teen Movie, when the girl's painting in her basement, and the guy Jake walks in, and she's like, Jake, what are you doing here? I deadbolted the door. And he goes, there's a hole in the side of your house. It cracks me up every time. I don't know why. Do you go to college? If so, then where? I did go to college. I don't go to college right now, though. I don't ever have to take another test for the rest of my life. What do you think about that? Did you ever think that you'd be where you are now 10 years ago? I was 16 10 years ago. Nope. Somehow I fell into news. My mom always says, how do you make God laugh? You tell him your plans. What do you think about the salt and ice challenge? I kind of want to do it, but then again, I kind of have to, you know, I use my hands at work all the time, so it's probably not a good idea to do that. What would you do in the event of a zombie apocalypse? No warning at all, just bam, zombies everywhere. I'd be one of those people that got ruined right away, probably. I can't run very fast. Have you ever been in a large earthquake, like 5 on the Richter scale? Apparently, that one earthquake that hit DC this year was 5.6 or something, but its epicenter was in DC. I felt a shake, and Yeah, so I guess I was in an earthquake, but I was kind of like, all right. As someone who works in news, how do you feel about the fact that many news networks seem to have become entertainment rather than high-quality journalism, which covers and explains in depth what's going on in the world? When I'm looking up at my news channel that I work at, and I see some of the stuff that is being put on, it's more as a kicker. It's not the hard-hitting news of the day, and like like if I was working at a station that was in-depthly covering Kim Kardashian's wedding, I would have stormed the fuck out. I would have been like, I don't give a shit about this fat ass getting married. Like, not saying that she's fat, I'm saying her ass is fat. Her and her fat ass are getting married, I guess. I don't think there's any way to curtail it because people want their celebrity news, but I'm fine with it being kept in the D block in the kicker section, that it's kind of like a, oh, here's the final thought kind of shit. You ever kiss a girl? Yes, but under the influence of alcohol and only to impress the guys that were in the room. That's what you do as a freshman in college sometimes. Yeah. No, I was not one of those girls that experimented in college. That was just not for me. No, no, no. Do you have any heroes? My father and my grandfather are my heroes. What disgusts you most about America? What we consider entertainment over here. Deep dish pizza or thin greasy pizza? I'm a New Yorker. Fuck deep dish. Sorry guys, sorry Midwesterners, but we don't do deep dish out here. No, no, no. In a fight between Onision and a Big Mac, who would win? Do you plan on making dramatic reading of fan rage videos from other rants you've made other than BTF? I hadn't thought about it, but perhaps. Do you think Eminem is a good artist? Yeah, I think he is a good rapper. I don't listen to him all that much though, but I can rap without me and my band perfectly. Do you think it's annoying that some people have been asking you weird, awkward personal questions? No. Do I like Sonic the Hedgehog? Sure. I was never a Sega girl, though. If you made a rom-com, romantic comedy, what would be the storyline? Well, it would be about me, a dorky news girl who used to fence, trying to find love. Can you say Ro-Elin 360 to make me feel special? Oh, you guys are so devious. No, I'm just kidding. If you were the king of England, how many giraffes would you keep in your castle? I mean, that all just depends about how high my ceilings are. Why do you think you're more important than the Tyrannosaurus Rexes? I don't think I'm more important than T-Rexes. How many actual mature BOTDF fans have actually commented on your videos? It's getting to be a higher number. I'm seeing more fans that are saying they respect my opinion. I would say it's probably like 10 to 15% of them have been respectful comments. That's not a lot, but they are there. Have you done any IQ tests? No, I'm not even kidding. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I wonder what my IQ is. I have no idea. If you could meet BOTDF in person, what would you say to them? There's a lot of things I'd like to say, but I don't want to get, I don't care about Jay. I don't mind him. I don't want to get anywhere near Davi. Like, I would need, like, a cone of anti-greasy, gross man, like, protection around me, because he just looks gross, and he looks like he smells like 15-day-old hair and grime, and I wouldn't say anything to them. I would just fucking laugh in his face, because he's disgusting. He's older than me, and that creeps me out. If you could visit any place in the world, where would you go? Tokyo. What is my favorite drink? My favorite drink is a nice glass of Cabernet Sauvignon. And I also like Snapple. What is your favorite Bob Dylan song? Tangled Up in Blue. What's the most played song on your iTunes at the moment? Let's see. Looks like Hold Me Up by Live. Has anybody ever recognized you in public before? I got retroactively recognized. I'll explain. I was at the Windows store in one of the malls, and like I love talking to all those nerdy boys, like that work the registers and stuff. I just love talking nerd talk with them. We ended up talking about video games, and I was like, oh yeah, like I put a few video game videos on YouTube, and he goes, oh that's really cool. Like what else do you do on YouTube? I'm like, oh I've done rants and stuff, and I have this like I have a pretty big following, kind of like for me just talking, and the guy was like, oh. So, like, what do you rant on? I'm like, oh, just bands and stuff. And he goes, actually, I was with my girlfriend here like a year ago, and I'm pretty sure that she saw you and was like, "Oh, that girl does rants on YouTube." So this guy's ex-girlfriend apparently recognized me, so I got retroactively recognized. Is there any person you would totally fangirl out if you met? I think I would freak out if I met Louis C.K. And this is the last question. Have I watched the show Gray Matters? No. I'm sorry this took 1.5 million years to complete, but this is already like an hour and a half long, and my voice hurts from talking so much, and my sleeping pills are about to kick in, so I should probably go. Thank you for the questions. I hope I got them. If I missed them or I skipped over, then I probably answered them in an earlier answer vid, so just go check those out. Why not? Find the time to watch an hour of me. Oh my god. Good night, bitches.